Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, we all wear stories. There's the story we choose to show the world, the clothes we pick out, the smile we put on our face. But then, there's the other story, the one that's happening deep down on the inside. And today, we're going to explore both.
So it all really boils down to this one question, doesn't it? How do we actually choose to face the world each day? It sounds pretty simple on the surface, but as we're about to see, the answer is often way more complex and layered than you might think.
All right, let's kick things off with a scene that I'm sure is super familiar to a lot of us. Picture this. A couple, they're getting ready to go out to a dinner party. And right away, we're in the middle of that classic daily dilemma.
Okay, so on one side, you've got him. He's pulling together an outfit that looks like he's ready for a day at the beach. We're talking a striped shirt with a checkered sweater and shorts. Oh, and of course, his lucky sandals. Meanwhile, his wife, well, she's thinking about where they're actually going. She's suggesting a silk tie, some warm corduroy pants, a coat, dinner party clothes. It's a total mismatch.
So what's the missing piece here? Well, it really just comes down to this thing we call fashion sense. It's not about rules, really. It's more like an intuition, right? That little voice that helps you know what's appropriate for the situation and how to put things together in a way that just works.
And you can just hear his wife saying this, can't you? It's filled with this loving exasperation. She's not mad. It's that feeling of, oh, honey, you really need my help here. It's just a small, familiar little battle in the much bigger story they wear together as a couple.
But, while that's a small battle fought over sweaters and sandals, some of the most important stories we wear, they aren't about that at all. They're about these much bigger, totally invisible wars. And this is where our story is about to take a really big shift. Yeah, this is the pivot point. Because those stories we wear on the outside, they can be a mask. They can hide the most difficult, painful struggles that we face on the inside, the battles we fight completely in silence.
So now, I want to introduce you to a 38-year-old woman. And her daily battle, it has absolutely nothing to do with a closet full of clothes. Her battle is with chronic, debilitating pain. The kind of pain that no one else can even see. Listen to how she described it. The pain was sharp like a knife pressing. I mean, that's not just a headache. That is a visceral, sharp, constant presence in her life. It's a pain so intense that it colors every single moment of her day. Now, her doctor, he thought the pain was being caused by stress. So the plan he gave her, it seemed so simple. Just a few clear steps. Take one pill a day, do some yoga, try a little meditation, focus on your breathing. On paper, it looked like a really simple solution to a very complex problem. But the pain, it didn't go away. In fact, it started to steal things from her. Her ability to be present, to play with her kids, to be the mom she desperately wanted to be. And this heartbreaking question started echoing in her mind, over and over. And here's where the story takes another dark turn. Because the solution that was supposed to help her, that medication, it starts to become its own heavy, crushing burden. It starts casting this whole new, overwhelming shadow over her life.
2 words. The box grew. But wow, they say everything, don't they? That one small bottle of pills, it started to multiply. The solution was getting bigger and heavier. That box on her table was a constant growing reminder of her struggle.
And this is how it all happened. The doctor just kept prescribing more pills for every new symptom. First, there were pills for the stress. Then came pills for nervous feelings. Then pills to help her sleep. And all of this was on top of the original pills for the pain. The solution had become a mountain.
And her husband, he watched her change. The medication just made her slow and tired and so distant. He felt like he was losing the person he married. And his question, it just shows how much her identity was being erased, not by the pain, but by the treatment itself.
And then she has this incredibly powerful realization herself. She finally understood that these pills were not a cure. They weren't making her better at all. They were just transforming her into someone else, a shadow of the person she used to be.
So where does that leave her? Well, she's living a life in the balance. It's this constant, daily negotiation between trying to take these tiny steps toward healing while still living with the constant shadow of her pain and the pills. And this is her reality now. It exists in this constant back and forth. On one side, you have these small, beautiful acts of hope. Things like talk therapy, writing in a diary, getting support from her family, even just a 10-minute walk. But on the other side, that shadow is always there. The box of pills on the table, the pain that always comes back, the exhaustion. It just goes to show you, recovery is almost never a straight line.
This one entry from her diary really says it all. Today, I walked to the shop. I smiled and cried. I had small wins, but I was not healed. The pills were still on the table. She sees those moments of victory, those little bits of light, but she also sees the hard reality that the battle just isn't over.
And that brings us all the way back to where we started. From a simple, funny debate about what to wear, to a silent, private war with chronic pain. It leaves us with this final thought. Behind every face, every outfit, there is a story. And you have to wonder, how much of that story, how much of that person's life is lived completely out of our sight?